Hello everybody, this is Jared Passy with lotsofpips.com, and this cool little video is going to be on what we call magnet lines. Now, magnet lines are basically lines that you can draw from the beginning to an end of a move, similar to where you place your Fibonacci's. So if you place a Fibonacci from the end, either ends of a move, this red line represents your magnet line. And a magnet line is typically called a magnet line because the market will generally bounce on one side and then it'll stay on the underside and then above and below until it finally finishes that move and changes directions. But what's cool about magnet lines that a lot of people don't know or a lot of people don't use, that's really pretty sweet, is that you can use magnet lines for their angle. The angle seems to be repeated a lot in the market. So if I delete my Fibo and just draw a trend line along that magnet line, what I can do then is I can take that trend line and I can copy that angle. So I hold down the control key, copy that angle, drag this out here, and drag the trend line over to the next turning point in the chart. So I put that right on the bottom of that move. We can drag it down or whatnot. Right there, and sure enough, that told us that the next turning point, there's a wave in here, or ABC wave in here, but the next turning point was right here. Okay, let's try this on the downward angle. Draw a line from there to there, and we copy that line, that angle and all, to right there to the top of this move, and sure enough, this angle from top to bottom is the same as this angle from top to bottom, just like this angle is similar to this angle. Okay, let's move forward a little bit, and we're going back up. Okay, here we have an ABC move, so here we have another ABC move, but let's take this angle right here and drag it to the bottom of that move right there. Let's extend it just a little bit. We hold down our shift key when we grab this end, and that makes it so the line can only go in a straight line. And sure enough, that is the exact angle for this magnet line. Okay, market sat on top of it, broke through, came up to the underside, and finally turned around up here. So let's take this magnet line, copy it, and put it over here at the top of, oops, backspace, having a little troubles here, put it right there, the top of that move. Sure enough, this angle for this whole move down is the same as this angle, which is the same as this angle. Okay, we can go even further. Now, this is the current time on my charts right now. I didn't go and find this example in the middle of nowhere 10 years ago. And we post that line to the top of that move, and let's stretch it down a bit and see what we get. Sure enough, this move might not have finished yet, but we're right at the bottom of our magnet line. Okay, we're underside it, broke through, and we're sitting on top of it right now. So these are magnet lines in your charts. How to use the magnet lines. Use basically trend lines without the rays. If you want, you can shrink things down to where it lines up better. But if you're trying to figure out when the trend might end, this helps you with time. Because if I throw a magnet line on here, if I like this magnet line, I can drag that over to there. If I'm pretty sure this is done going down, which it might not be, but I can drag that magnet line right there to the bottom of that, and then I can, once this thing starts going up, I can tell where the bottom is. I can put my magnet line on there and then give me some indication of where this might be coming. Put some Fibonacci's on here, put some trend lines, some other tools to tell me, hey, this is the angle it's going in, so I can expect it to take, This is a 4-hour chart, so I can expect it to take a couple days to get there, or the same thing works on a 30-minute chart. The really small time frame charts don't work as well. But let's go look at the euro on a 1-hour chart. Okay, so here is this angle right at the top of this move. Now here's what I do when you have a double or a triple top. Okay, we're going to be coming up, and then it gives us a double top, and then turns around. Sometimes instead of trying to pick which top is the top, I'll go for the middle. So I'll draw my magnet line down the middle of that double top, which is what I did right here. And if the top looks like it's a rounded top or something like this, it just kind of went sideways with a few points in here, zigzag up on the top, triple top or whatnot, I'll draw a line across the top of that move. So this is across the top of that move, and then somewhere right around the middle is what I'm going to be shooting for my magnet line. So I've got a line up here that matches up with the line right here, which matches up with the line right here, which matches up with the line right here, and the current line right here where we're at. Okay, this line from the top to this close to the bottom, not quite right on, lines up with this one, which lines up with this one from very top to bottom, which lines up with this one. Okay, notice I got 3 points up here. We went to the middle one, down to here. Okay, which lines up with this move down here. Okay, and then you've got to, obviously it's not a perfect science. There isn't a perfect science other than the market's going to keep moving one way or another. That's the only thing you can really rely on. But it's not a perfect science. So you've got to be a little flexible, but if that gives you any indication as to where the market might be going, it can be very, very beneficial. So if I am curious to where this market's going to go right now, and I see that we have a head and shoulders pattern included within our double top right here, this is considered a double top, I might be drawing a magnet line or copying this angle from here over to here to say, where is this going to go? Well, we might be coming down around this level at about that speed. So this kind of really shows the speed, or how long it's going to take. Basically, those are directly connected for what the market's mood is right now. Okay, now sometimes you have big news announcements, like right here was a non-farm payroll, where the market will shoot up and throw off your angles. And a lot of times I'll just ignore that section of the market or even that move for my magnet lines because there's too much volatility. Things weren't acting normally at that point. So anyway, that's magnet lines, and you can find out more about really cool tips and secrets on lotsofpips.com. And we'll see you later. This is Jared Passy signing off. Take care.